Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The United Way for Jackson and George counties invited Attorney General Lynn Fitch to the coast to discuss the issue of human trafficking. I caught up with her at today's event. General Fitch, always good to catch up with you here on the Mississippi coast. Your office is laser focused on the sinister issue of human trafficking, having committed a lot of resources, time, and energy to it. Why is that? How bad is it?
Well, human trafficking is here. It's in the state of Mississippi, and we have to go after this. We have to go after these traffickers. We've got to rescue these victims. We've got to help them get back into society without any shame or blame. They didn't ask to be in this situation, and these traffickers just strip their dignity off of these individuals, and we've got to really build them back up, get them into a safe haven, safe spot where they can emotionally get back, mental health can get back, and we can help them along their new journey.
And as for all of the partnerships, working with the federal government, working with state leaders, working with, here on the coast, for instance, sheriff's departments and other law enforcement agencies. How important is all that in the big picture?
Well, we have to have the partnerships. The partnerships make a difference. We go in, we do these operations together, again, understanding the magnitude of the situation when we're all together, again, providing the care that these victims need. These takedowns are dangerous, and so all of our law enforcement partners really go in, we make a difference, we get them safely out, because we know we're normally going to find drugs, we're going to find weapons, because this is a big industry, and so it's important that we're working together. And then we continue to work with our partners, again, for housing, for the nursing, for any counseling that these victims might need. And now we find many times children, so it's important to work with our partners at CPS to protect these children.
And really, it's a two-pronged problem. You have sexual and you also have labor exploitation. So how do you view balancing those two things?
Well, they're all still victims, and they all deserve our initiative to step up and help them. Again, they've gotten in it, whether they're in for the labor or they're the sex trafficked victim, they still need to have someone to help them, empower them, help them on a new pathway. Again, they didn't ask to be in this, and it's really on us. So it's a call of action for all of us to rise together and help these individuals.
Right up the road from where we're standing, I-10. The interstate runs from Florida to Texas all the way on to California. It's so ripe for human trafficking. At the same time, we have this chaotic southern border out of control. What's the relationship between that and human trafficking?
Well, we've all become border states now. The traffic victims are coming right over along with the drugs. They're certainly in our state. They're all across our country. We're seeing some of those victims. But there's another factor as we're having, these people come across and into our state again. Now we've got to help them on different levels. They've come across the border. The cartels are many times directing these victims. So we have that element that we have to address with the cartels as well. But sadly enough, many of our victims were trafficked by a family member, somebody that they loved and trusted. So again, that's an emotional roller coaster when we find those victims as well.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the interview on a curveball.
All right. Of course, I always enjoy being on the coast.
Social media, everything from Instagram to TikTok either being banned or being told to divest from its Chinese parent company. You and a lot of other attorneys general are taking that on, and people might be wondering, why are elected officials attacking free markets and free speech?
Well, it's important for all of us to rise together because, again, they are exploiting our children primarily. So we have to go after these social media companies. Parents deserve to have controls. Parents need to have the opportunities to not have that information freely flow to their children. These social media companies are making money, and they're doing it off of our children. Again, bullying, shaming, again, exploiting our children. There's so many facets they go after our young people, and so we need those controls. There's some legislation right now that we need for us to be able to be protective of our children and to go after these media companies who, again, are going after our children.
Attorney General Lynn Fitch, always good to see you. Thank you, General.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.